Let's take a break. Coffee break tayo. Mura ng cafecito.
On today's coffee break, we want to look at the parent's role in leadership development, especially if your child is involved in a leadership development program, or they're learning leadership competencies at school or with a community group. So this is definitely an opportunity for parents to build their own leadership competencies, but also help reinforce positive leadership behavior in their youth. So today I'll be giving you some ideas on how you as a parent can do that, right? And we're all busy, but it's important that we all take a moment to reflect on a daily basis on how you are helping your child succeed. And you need to ask yourself if you're giving them the resources that they need in order for them to learn and practice their leadership skills at home, in their club, in their team, and of course in the community. And are you nurturing their decision making, their ambition and motivation to do what it is that they want to do, right? And of course, you want to make sure that you keep the standards high but achievable, which is very important. So we want to help you as parents reinforce positive leadership behavior in your youth, and hopefully you'll be able to use the following ideas. And we'll start with you ensuring that you are teaching your child to be a leader and not a follower, right? And as a parent, you want to do your best at encouraging your children to be in front of the crowd and not follow it. We often tell youth to blend in, to make friends and feel comfortable. But definitely youth should be challenged to find opportunities to be first, and take on additional responsibilities at home, at school, in the community, and definitely be involved, right, when it comes to their educational process at home, in the community, and at school, or in the program that they're involved with. Okay, so that's the first tip is, make sure that you're teaching them to be a leader and not a follower, and reinforce that. The next thing that I would recommend, or that I would want you to do, is to learn to listen and speak from experience, right? Listening is one of those leadership competencies that's very difficult. Sometimes we just need to zip it and listen. So take some time to listen, and when you speak to your kids, speak to them from experience. Don't glorify it. Of course, it's very important that we don't glorify anything, especially if it's negative behavior that we did as kids. But it'll definitely go a long way for you. I think the next tip that I can give you is that you teach them to respectfully challenge authority, right? And let me emphasize the word respectfully, because we don't, in this day and age, we don't want to see anything on social media, because it could definitely turn ugly very quick. But you want to let your son or daughter know that it's okay to have an opinion, and that you support that opinion. And even if it's to teachers, directors, or any adult, right? But the key is to always present a respectful and educated argument. And that's very important. And as adults, you want to make sure that your son or daughter is ready to face a world that's full of individuals who are ready to tell them that they're wrong. But you want them to learn how to state their case. But you can only state your case if you educate yourself and speak from an educated point of view, right? From personal knowledge, and it's learned. I think another tip that I can give you is that you want to ensure that you are supporting your kid's passion, right? At some point, your child will become passionate about something. We all do, and that something could be school, it could be art, it could be sports, it could be theater, it could be music. And sometimes we don't like, what their passion is, but it's important that we support them. And you as parents need to support this passion, but always guide them to, hopefully play a larger role in whatever their passion is, to be a vocal leader of the group, to be a person who's involved in the decision making, right? Or simply, lead by example, right? If they just want to be a member of their group, then that's fine too. But make sure that they're always setting the example and they're leading by example. That's what you want to make sure that you're reinforcing and instilling in your kids. Another thing could be that you want to make sure that you don't approve of failure. In today's society, everybody has to win, everybody has to get a trophy, and no one is allowed to celebrate the win because somebody might feel bad, right? The reality is, at some point, we all fail. Everyone will fail. And when this happens, right, you want your child, you want them to be prepared, you want them to learn from it, right? So you want to help build their character from these experiences, and you want them to understand that this is real life. Not everybody gets a trophy. Not everybody gets an award, right? And the most successful people have failed before achieving greatness, no matter who you ask. They will tell you stories about their failures before they'll tell you about their successes. And again, when your child fails, make sure that you help your son or daughter learn from this, and they will learn, of course, and they will develop their character from this, and they'll learn that this is real life, and that it's part of growing up, right? So the next thing I think would be also to, and I think I alluded to this earlier when it came to learn to listen and speak from experience. And this is, don't glorify negative activity. Yeah, we all have stories, we all have histories, but sometimes we make them sound fun, we make them sound exciting, but of course those were different times. So make sure that you are not glorifying any negative activity that you experience in your life. You can definitely share, and it's important to share your life story and your history with your kids, but make sure that it doesn't sound as if you're glorifying, especially negative activity, right? And I think the last point that I can give you is that you want to make sure that you, as a parent, to support. Of course, you want to not only reinforce these leadership behaviors, but you want to support all the great work that's happening in schools, in programs, and in the communities. And that's be firm, right? And by being firm, you're ensuring that your kids are learning accountability, and accountability goes a long way in any part of our growing up, right? So no matter what phase in life you're in, accountability is what's gonna help you move forward. And you want to teach your kids to be accountable, and that this will get them respect. And this is how they demonstrate maturity, right? You want to show them some examples, right? And there are plenty of examples about accountability. And there's politicians, there's sport figures, there's young entertainers, and everybody makes mistakes, right? And they made mistakes, and yes, they failed. And yes, they failed to be accountable. Right? From the beginning. But then show them, people or the same people who learned how to handle these bad situations, in a totally different way, in a positive way, and especially when it came to learning accountability, right? How were they accountable to change their lives, and especially how they were able to change public opinion, right? Public opinion really doesn't matter at the end of the day, but it's people's perspectives of who you are that do matter, right? Because the day and age that we live in today, it'll definitely have a negative impact on you. But you want to make sure that you are firm, that you are stressing accountability, and that there are consequences for our actions. So make sure that, you know, whatever actions they are involving themselves with, that they're positive actions and interactions that they're having, right? And that's one of those leadership behaviors that you definitely want to reinforce. So, you know, at the end of the day, you always want to make sure that you talk to your children about leadership. Ask them what it means to them, tell them what it means to you, talk about who inspires you, ask them who inspires them, and talk about the qualities of why they find admiration in the leaders that they know. And who knows, they might identify some community leaders that you know, or perhaps even identify you as one of the admirable leaders in their lives, right? And ask them about the issues that they're having in schools, maybe some community issues, and you know, they might feel very passionate about an issue that you can help them with, right? And they might want to be able to change or make change with whatever issues that they identify. You're definitely going to gain a lot of insight, you know, especially in how you're doing as a parental role model, or as a parent, as a positive male figure, as a positive female figure, right? And it's always important, again, to reinforce leadership behavior in a positive way. Get involved in developing the leadership skills in your children. At the end of the day, they're going to be better off for it. You're of course, you know, you're going to be better off for it because you'll have less headaches and so forth. With that being said, I think that is it for today's coffee break. So make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hopefully you share this video so get back to work or whatever it is that you were doing. And we'll see you on the next coffee break. Lates.